Welcome to the shit show.
We are live. We have sound this time, I hope. It appears that way here. Appears that we have not applied any user error to the sound this time. Hopefully we are live. Tom, AEW Dynamite just finished. It is a Wednesday night. That is not our typical. This is not our mission statement. Normally we go Thursdays. Right. We like to sleep on it. We like to not have a hot take opinion necessarily. Plus it gives you all some time to get away. Man, it's 2 hours. You might not be ready to jump on. So if you're not live with us, we get it. If you're listening back on the podcast or you're watching back on the live stream later, reminder, you can always hit us up. All Elite Wrapup.com has all the links you need, but we have threads. You can talk to Tom when he's live threading during the shows. You can send us an email, aewrapup@gmail.com, where you can send us emails, calls, videos, right, that we might play right here. You can also donate. 2 different ways you can donate on allelitewrapup.com, but that's if you want to be nice. If you want to be philanthropic. If you got some money to donate, now might be a time to donate it in some better causes. I will say that. So, but we will appreciate any philanthropic, things you want to throw our way, right? Tom?
Of course.
Tom, did you do anything cool or interesting this week? Before
the Olympics have started, so I've been watching the Olympics, so that's been fun. Watching that, learning some new sports, because it seems like that's always the case, right? A sport comes around, you're like, this is the greatest thing of all time, and then you forget about it, and then it comes around again, like, I forgot that this thing is the greatest thing of all time, and then it goes away again. So did that. I watched the Deadpool versus Wolverine movie. It was fun. I liked it. Had a
humor
Deadpool
in that one, right?
Yeah, Deadpool, likes to poke fun. Spoiler alerts, there's just like one time he calls Wolverine Hugh, because it's Hugh Jackman, he's like, Hugh, get out of the way. So like he does some breaking the fourth wall stuff. It was fun. So that was a good one.
Yeah, I've always understood. I've seen none of those, but I've always understood Deadpool to sort of be the meta, right? And be a little tongue in cheek, but also push the envelope a little bit, right?
Yeah. And it was good. There's some cameos that were pretty amazing. No spoilers there, but it was really fun.
Okay, right.
One I audibly went,
spoilers.
No, one that I went, yeah.
Nice.
And I was like
in theater, or would you watch this like
in theater? Yeah. I saw it in theater. I love going to the theater.
This weirdo.
No, we all did it. It was cool.
Yo, theater can be great. Yeah, absolutely. Theater can be great still. Like I think the sound, the experience, right? Yeah, absolutely. It's still a good time. I agree.
And the seats now, like if you spend an extra $1,
you get a full meal at some of these, man. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, people were like,
beer.
You watch it at home. Shut the fuck up. It's just
I work out of the home. Like sometimes I need.
Yeah, I want to get out of this fucking place sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, anyhow.
I'm home. I'm thinking about shit. I got to mow, or I got to fuck. I need to get away from that stuff. I go hang out at Tom's house. Bother him.
Yeah, come over. Why not?
Yeah. I'll do that when we're done.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll be asleep, but we'll be here.
Yeah, right. I'll hang out with the dogs.
Yeah, why not? I watched the Olympics and did that. Tim, what about you? Anything fun? Anything
doing
new?
some watching the Olympics. We got a roof installed, and so that was chaotic, right? Like that's a banging for like a couple of days straight. But no, so nothing crazy, right? Like we've just been around the house doing stuff, cleaning it up and that kind of stuff, right? While they were working, we're like, might as well, get some stuff done too, right? So, but watching a few Olympics, man, haven't been able to get into that deep level yet where it's like, I'm gonna see this crazy sport or whatever. Honestly, it's kind of been whatever my wife had tuned into, and she's a big fan of like the gymnastics and Simone Biles and that, right?
Look, let me say this first off about gymnastics. I think it is utterly incredible what the women can do.
Yeah, 100%.
But it is just like skateboarding. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
I know. I couldn't tell you when you just did the greatest thing ever versus that was actually 7.2. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you.
And so, and so it's kind of like, you do it enough times. I'm checked out. So like, I don't obviously you get it when they fall, right? And you don't want to see anyone fall. So I know that part.
Yeah.
But then everything else, I'm like, I don't
So it's a thing
fucking
I was
know.
never around, right? Like I didn't participate in that sport growing up as an 80s kid, right? Like they didn't let boys weren't doing that. And then my sister wasn't doing that or anything like that. So I was never around it. And then, yeah, like the only time I see it is the Olympics.
It's also very, I know that I like fighting, and if a fight goes to a decision, it's obviously interpreted. But with gymnastics, it's all interpreted. So like,
It's
I
all
don't like,
interpreted,
yeah. So it's like, I don't. How do you really
with
know?
fighting? So I don't watch
I
much
can
fighting,
knock
but
you
if I
out.
watch a
Yeah.
fight right now, if it went to a decision, it would have to be close. If it was close, I'd be like, I don't know, man, right? Like I don't know. But there are definitely times where I could be like, dude kicked his ass, right? Like you'd be like, I know, like he didn't knock him out, but like he was landing punches at a higher rate, or like the other dude's gassed, like this dude would have won if we went further, right? Like you can kind of tell sometimes.
Right, or I could knock you out.
I have no clue. I don't know, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or I could knock you out, or I could choke you out. We could end it
clear,
without judges.
It's
right?
very evident, right?
So yeah, I like gymnastics, but I can only watch.
Oh yeah, I'm impressed by the feet, right? Like, and that's it. So I'm watching. I'm like, wow. It's kind of like wrestling when we talk about the hold your hand wrestling, where they flip and jump. Where I'm like, wow. But you know what I mean? I'm kind of like, all right. Like I don't know how to tell if you kind of fucked that up or not or whatever. So yeah. I'm not really checking.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, Olympics are fun though, man. It comes around. It is good times. But suddenly, our most wholesome mascot of America is Snoop Dogg, so that's fun. Right?
Oh, that fucking fraud. God, I'm so tired of Snoop Dogg.
I saw somebody say, this man has completed the most side missions in human history.
He's just a fucking whore for money. Like, and I'm so tired.
He's on everything. No. They put him on literally everything.
Well, because he'll say yes to everything.
Of course. Yeah.
And why does anyone think that that's a fucking
it's
cool
interesting.
Thing?
It is weird to me, too, that it's like, it's the Olympics. Although, did you see Flavor Flav sponsors?
That's fine. Yeah, cool.
That's so fun, too.
Yeah.
Flavor Flav, how awesome is that? So the Olympics are always cool because it's always these like weird stories that like you wouldn't hear otherwise. And you get to see crazy feats of athleticism and do things that you couldn't do at all.
So, Tim, with that being said, got a fun question for you. Because Dynamite was fun, but look, not a lot of meat on the bone. So that's why we're kind of doing we're kind of doing a quick side quest here.
Yeah.
Got a fun question for you. And if you're in the chat, answer it. Or if you're listening later, you want to send us a message, threads, all the stuff, post it to us. Here's the question. What sport do you think you're the closest to competing in the Summer Olympics? And what sport do you think you are the farthest away from competing in the Summer Olympics? So don't consider winter, right? Because I forget all the shit there. So we're just saying something.
What did they just say? Didn't they add like a beatboxing or something?
Breaking.
That's it. That's the one. No. Actually,
can I guess yours?
You know what? I mean, guess mine. All right.
Your closest. I know you. 3-on-3 basketball.
Ooh, close. Yeah. I forgot they do 3-on-3 basketball now. I thought you would think basketball, but I'm going to say handball. I'm going to say...
Well, that's not basketball.
Yeah, it's close. It's kind of that, right? There's a mix where you like throw it into that small thing. Yeah, but 3-on-3 basketball's got me reconsidering that now. 3-on-3 basketball, I might tear up.
That's yours. Yeah.
If they had a 40+ and over division in the Olympics...
I mean, have you seen our team?
No.
It's Jimmer Fredette. Remember Jimmer Fredette?
Oh, yeah, I remember Jimmer.
Yeah, that motherfucker's on there. So it is a 40 and over.
Duke can go.
Almost.
Duke can go. Yeah. As long as they don't call too many fouls, I'm sure I can fucking get in there.
Well, have you seen a game yet?
No, I haven't. I'm going to have to check that out, honestly.
So it's cool. Here's the thing. There's no individual fouls. There's 7 team fouls, and then after every foul after your team reaches 7, it's a free throw. So you could foul them all 7 times.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I could do this.
Now, here's the other thing,
coach.
But here's the other thing.
It doesn't stop. Fucking American flag. Fucking man, put me in there with a broken freaking neck.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing, though. It doesn't stop. As soon as the ball exits the hoop, they go. It's not like a check ball thing. It's then they dribble it to the three. Like it's continuous movement.
Nice.
Like
Love
the
it.
best player.
I'm excited.
The best player for 3-on-3 after watching 5 games that I could think of would
Yeah.
be Steph Curry. LeBron James wouldn't last. Steph Curry would last in this.
Yeah, I imagine, because you got to go. That takes me back to the Lonsdale days. Now, admittedly, it's 15 plus years ago, but that's all we do for 3 hours a night is just run.
All right, so what's
a lot of
the
times
sport?
it's 3-on-3.
Yeah, so what's the sport farthest away?
It's whatever the fuck Simone Biles does, right? Like, I'm not jumping 12 feet in the air, twisting, spinning over my ball sack, punch, dive. Man, you can't do it, man. I'm not, I'm going to vomit if I try to do one of those fucking twisty flip turn things.
I like it.
Not a damn one.
Yeah, that's definitely
I'd at least come in third place at best.
Oh, I would come in last at best. You're lucky you got to finish.
Yeah, I know.
It would be a
They would
DNF.
escort me out of the building.
Yeah. All right. So for me, do you want to guess what I would say? Do you want to guess?
Well, some sort of grappling thing. I would think like a wrestling or something.
Ooh, maybe. You know what? No, because
well, with the shoulder might harm you.
Well, let's assume that's okay, right?
Yeah, let's assume it's miraculously healed. We feel like we're 20 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, my shoulder's from 2 years ago. No, I was gonna say rugby sevens. The 7-on-7 rugby.
Yeah.
That's the
thinking
shit.
about that. Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
actually not
sport.
bad. Yeah, that's not bad. I feel like I could, again, if we rewind ourselves a little bit, right, when I wasn't like, this old, I feel like that's one where, I could have went out there and just done that for fun with like some fellas, like weekly.
Now.
I feel like I could do it now. I feel like I could do it now, like Toby Keith saying about, like, where I'm like as good as once, you know what I mean, as I ever was. But I'm not like, hey, let's do this every Saturday. I'm going to be like, hold on. Like,
Tim,
I'm going to need some of that TR or whatever.
TRT?
Yeah.
Tim, if they play that music, I'm going to dance. And if you got violence, I'm going to be there. I love violence.
Tom, I got some acreage. We could set up a field, right? We could do a field of dreams for this.
I'll be there.
Anybody in the Kansas City area is interested in doing this, hit us up at, aewrapup@gmail.com.
I love hitting people.
We'll live stream this stuff.
I've got
a field right now. It's flat.
Mm-hmm. It is.
We could, yeah.
The sport.
They just mowed it. They just hate it. They just hate it. Big old tractors and shit. Cut it all down.
I don't know if we need those details, but
do that.
The sport.
I know. I wanted you to squirm a little bit. You hate it. You hate hearing me talk about it.
The sport that I'm farthest away from also has physicality, but fun fact about me, I hate water around my face.
Yeah, okay.
Don't like it. Water polo.
Yeah, okay.
The fucking thing is so hard that when you're resting, you're still treading water.
gotta,
Those motherfuckers. I saw one time that someone went into the penalty box and they're still treading water.
Yeah.
Like they don't get to sit.
So, I've talked about before where I'm like, man, playing soccer must suck because, like, you don't stop running. You got to be like a marathon runner to play. You know what I mean? Like, you're running the whole time.
Okay.
But that's worse.
No, water polo, you're
like, you never get the jog, right? Like, you never get the, like, oh, ball went out of bounds for a second. Let me lightly get back in place. Like, you're fucking constantly ducking the water. Fuck that. Yeah.
And if you're the goalie, you can only go like 3 feet to the left or right.
Jeez,
like you're constantly treading water. Because at least with like the forwards and backs, you could swim a little bit, right? And break up the monotony.
Yeah, you
but
can.
fuck
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly.
No
you kind of lay back a little bit, go back. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That one would be tough. That one would be tough.
I couldn't.
And do you see America? We didn't even medal in shooting. What in the fuck? How did we make that one happen?
I don't. What shooting? Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah,
no, we were
fifth.
Shooting.
We gold medal in skeet shooting.
Well, that was a different one. There was something like I saw that was shooting, and they were making fun of us because we got like fifth. We didn't even medal in the shooting thing. And they were like, "Well, that's because they did it in a stadium and not in a school." And I was like, "All right, good one." was like, that's a good. I was like, we deserve that.
But we did medal. Yeah, I watched it because the guy that got third was from Azerbaijan and he was 57 years old. And I saw the fucking what's this one? What's this one where I go like this, where I let go of it? You know what I'm talking about? Bow and arrow? Is that what it's called? Bow and arrow? You know what I'm talking about? I got this thing here and I let go of it. It's an arrow. Bow and arrow, I think it's called. Yes, that's it. I saw a pregnant lady fucking rule with that shit. This lady from, I believe it was the Republic of Korea. Don't quote me on that part. But pregnant, like real pregnant, like maybe we should get her to a hospital pregnant. And she was just out dueling all these girls. Whop, whop, whop. Oh, man, she was good. She was good.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, maybe next Olympics we'll be ready and we'll get out there and we'll do some 3-on-3 basketball.
If you had to pick, if I put you into a draft almost.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Would you do summer? Right? Yeah. Would you do summer or winter?
Summer. I hate the cold. I fucking hate the cold. I hate it. I don't like it.
And you live in Kansas.
Well, I know. I used to tell people this in the military all the time. I would hate it. I would be like, I was like, I don't want it to snow. I was like, I'm not looking for a white Christmas. I don't give a fuck. I hate snow. I don't like it's cold, it's wet. I don't like it's cold. And they were like, oh, where are you from? And I'd be like, Kansas. And they'd be like, you're used to it. And I'm like, I'm used to it. I don't fucking like it. I was like, that's why I don't like it. I got to see it all the goddamn time. I was like, I don't want it.
You sound like a guy with tattoos who hates needles.
Yeah.
But I don't like these fucking things. Don't you have 4 of them? Yeah, but
move. I don't want to do that. I own this house.
Anyhow. All right. Well, let's talk about AEW Dynamite.
Let's do it. AEW Dynamite. It happened.
Went down tonight. Had a lot of fun, exciting things happening, and it started with everyone's favorite American hero, not Kurt Angle. Nope. It's MJF, the real American hero. And he's up there and he's talking his shit. First off, Tim, what'd you think of the jacket?
The jacket, I mean, MJF always knows how to style, right? Like, tongue in cheek. I thought it was great. It's really lynching into, or what's the word? Not lynching, but like, well, it's American. But like sinking in right into this, right? It hit me though that like, of course he's a real American hero. He took something international, belonged to the world, and just took that and like made it only for America, right? And that's what America's about, right? Imperialism. So like, yeah, right? Like he's doing great. How could you not view this guy as a real American hero?
Well, I mean, as far as true American hero, yeah, that is what history books are all about.
That's how it'll be written. Right there.
Exactly. Here's the thing
he saved that title for America.
Right. Here's the thing that I don't like about the storyline is the crowd doesn't know what to do, and neither do we. Right? So he's doing I'm an American hero, but I'm really the villain. Okay. And that's fine, right? Because then if you said, you know what a real American looks like? Me from Atlanta, Georgia, or whatever, right? Okay. Like, at least that's easier to comprehend, right? There's one side of American. Right. Exactly. There's one side of America. There's the other side of America, right? Well, but here's the thing.
We could get it with this.
Well, but he's out for a while. He's out for a
that's right. Yeah, that's right. He's really injured. So, fuck. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, we don't have time.
But with this, we're having these international people who, again, look, I know Americans who love the new country that they live in, right? But like, speak to how great these things are. And I'm like, okay, I don't. And here's the other thing that I said to you, and I think I've said it in past storylines, especially when we did Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes. So this is England and America, right? Whatever, right? And then now we've thrown in Australia, I guess, right? If you're fucking Brazilian, why the hell do you care? Who the fuck cares?
Right.
I just...
it feels like you've isolated it to America versus England. And everybody else watching, be damned. So Canada...
And then the other thing Yeah, and then the other thing.
Who's Canada root for? It's like, we also don't like England. You know, we had to fight our independence for them. But like, America
like
sucks.
Those guys don't, yeah,
See them
don't
down
want them
there.
either. Yeah, because we're past the time of local broadcasting, right? Because the local broadcasting in the 80s, when obviously there was international broadcastings of Hulk Hogan, but week to week was domestic. The America versus the other country.
You didn't see Will Ospreay from the other country before.
Yeah.
You didn't know it. You didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah. But now that everything's connected and we have friends that live in London and all of this, fuck you again.
Regular contributors and friends that we love here on the All.
Yeah.
Miss you guys.
And you know, I hate to sound lewd, but like honestly, again, I'll say it one more time. I don't care about dirt. I want everyone to do well.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Prosperity isn't a pie, right?
I would like all the people of the world to be fed and
yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Prosperity isn't a pie. If I give some more to someone else, it doesn't mean I get less. It means that we all have something now. You fucking idiots. But so I don't know. The storyline kind of stinks. I would like this storyline. I posted it on Threads. Just tell me Will Ospreay thinks that he's better than MJF, and MJF says it was the easiest match of my career, and Will Ospreay says, well, then prove it again. And then we do that. That's all it has to be.
Make it the easiest rematch of your career. And be like,
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Instead, we're doing all of this. Well, and again, we did this with MJF 4 years ago when it was him and John Moxley, and he was doing the Save AEW, but it was America thing. So it's just, I don't know. It's silly.
And I know we have to do this sometimes for this role as we move along here in wrestling, right? But man, I love Lance Archer so much in this role that he does with the Everybody Dies and the character he's always had in AEW that I feel like, oh man, as soon as the music hit, I'm like, God damn it, now we got to watch him lose here to Will Ospreay. And like, yeah, he does some cool things, but like, I just, you know, it just, and I don't know who, I guess you would have replaced him with that in that spot where it really wouldn't have felt the same way, I guess. But like, I don't know.
Well, here's where we've talked about this in the past with some of the AEW matches where it's like, well, we know, right? Here's where I know that we don't like WWE, and look, we don't like WWE, but there were some fun things about it in the sense of put MJF at ringside and he's grabbing Ospreay's foot so that we could potentially think that MJF would fuck over Ospreay to have him lose the match, right? But if you just do one-on-one, well, who the fuck we know? And again,
or hear me out. It's okay for Will Ospreay to be blindsided and lose a match to Lance Archer. Like, I don't think less of Will Ospreay for that.
Yeah.
You've packaged Lance Archer like a goddamn maniac who can throw people through the ceiling and carry his opponent to the fucking ring by their belt loop. Fuck. If Will Ospreay wasn't planning for that, but I guess this was a match already, I guess, assigned.
Yeah, but still. Because that's the other thing, too, is I get a little exhausted of the both guys got to, as we say, look strong. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I hate the like dueling. Can you beat this guy? Well, can you beat this guy? Yeah, I never really liked that. I don't know, because like, well, fuck those guys then, right? Like they didn't.
Yeah,
I was never to believe that they had a fighting chance. Like I don't know.
And then you could set things up later. Let's use your example for tonight, right? Let's say Lance Archer, because Will Ospreay's focused on MJF, doesn't realize that there's the counter that Lance Archer knows because they wrestle in New Japan. He uses it. He loses. Will Ospreay beats MJF at All In. Well, the next week on Dynamite, you know who comes out and says, hey, guess who beat you before that match? Yeah. Me. I want the title.
Me, motherfucker.
There you go. Yeah. Right? But like, we just do these beats. And it's like, come on.
How many dots was that?
It was a lot. That was what was fun about the early days of AEW. Is we knew nothing of the cadence of what the booking decisions were. Right. So we're like, I don't know. Could Private Party beat the Young Bucks? Oh, I guess they fucking did. Crazy. But now do that match, and we all know that it ain't happening. And here we go. Like, come on. That's why, you know?
And that's the thing. I think, again, that was driven out of more, than they have had a little bit more of a focus on storyline-driven purpose for matches, But the caution there is, and I know, like, you know, it sounds like nitpicking, but we're just trying to like steer the ship if we can, right? It's that, yes, but don't fall into the tropes of that, right? Like, oh, it's these two guys, so now nobody can meet these two guys until they meet. Like, you're sure they can. This is a traveling circus. That is a hard to beat competitor.
Yeah.
Except for he loses every fucking time. So like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, don't, like, you gotta
Unless
let me
it's
believe that he can
local
beat
talent.
somebody.
Yeah.
You gotta let me believe he can beat somebody. And him beating Will Ospreay, and like next week now MJF can be making fun of Will Ospreay and be like, funny, here's the thing, I got Tony to agree that like we should also see if you could beat Lance Archer, and Lance Archer comes in and fucking beats him too, right? Like,
or Wardlow.
They both got their ass kicked by Lance Archer or Wardlow or somebody else, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the thing too, is again, I know we're nitpicking here, but this isn't the heavyweight champion, right? Because if everyone goes into the matches undefeated, well, why the fuck would MJF not just say, fuck this championship, I'm undefeated, I'm going for the world championship? You know what I mean? Or Ospreay, right? Like, I'm going for that one. So if it's not for the top tier championship, then yeah, you can lose a couple times. And it doesn't look bad, because if you look at real fights, they will say 14 of the last 16 fights or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, oh, wow, that's a bad motherfucker, right? Like, you don't want going in 5 and 6, right? Like, you don't want a losing record going into it, but a couple or one is totally fine.
It is a little more realistic. If we were doing, again, if I'm to, we all know it's a performance art and it's not a real sport, right? But if we're to be in kayfabe and we're to be watching and acting as if this is a professional fighting organization where they're fighting a couple days a week.
Yeah.
Think of college basketball. Nobody's winning every game, right? Like, you just, like, you can't keep it up like that and not get got sometimes, right? Like,
oh yeah,
your wear and tear gets you caught.
Yeah. How many conference champions are undefeated? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, it just doesn't happen, right? Like, you get, like, that's the thing is, one day your leg hurts and somebody, you know what I mean, takes advantage of that. And you're
exactly.
Like, and you get caught up.
And the other thing from a viewing perspective is then it breaks up that monotony. Yeah. Well, fuck, I don't know. Could Lance Archer beat him here?
Think baseball, like, you do it enough times, you can't win every single one, right? Like, that's just the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that would be more must-see TV, is if you would have texted me, Tim, right after that Lance Archer match and be like, dude, Lance Archer beat the fuck out of Ospreay. Yeah. And I'm like, say what?
Put his foot on his chest and got the 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? Like, fucking flexing. You'd be like,
then the next match, right? The Camille versus local talent. I'm like, I don't know. Could local talent win? And I know they did that once with Action Andretti and Chris Jericho. Yeah. But again, it was once. You know what I'm saying? That's where, anyhow. But Will Ospreay wins.
Yeah, we need to believe that any man with two hands.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can tweet minors. Allegedly.
Easy. Yeah. Allegedly. Will Ospreay beats Lance Archer, and then immediately MJF runs in, beats him up. Yep. But then here comes Kyle Fletcher.
Coil.
He runs off MJF.
Yeah.
And Don Callis is just there, I guess. You know?
Yeah, he was just kind of there, wasn't he?
He didn't say anything.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah. And
which is kind of Don Callis of him to be like, what? Like, why are we out here? Let him beat him up. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. And so, then Kyle Fletcher's like, I know he's not in the family, but he's my best friend. I know he doesn't sound like that.
I mean, he kind of.
No, he doesn't. But then he goes into another, you know what America gave me? And I would be like, motherfucker, that's AEW, not America.
Yeah.
All the things you named was what AEW gave for you. And guess what? AEW probably has an LLC in London. So motherfucker, America didn't give you shit.
And I mean, like, it also, like, it's been very multinational, you know, for like a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy Japan influence very early on. Then we've had a lot of Mexican influence later, right?
Yeah. And you're about to do a show in London. So stop saying like.
Right. Yeah. For the second year in a row.
Yeah. So fuck out of here.
Why you're here, honestly. Yeah. Trying to appeal to that market. But.
So next week it'll be MJF and Fletcher. MJF, though, does a good callback where he's like, I'm a kangaroo kick your ass. and all this stuff. Because remember at All In, it was him and Adam Cole beat Aussie Open for their ROH tag titles. So that was a good callback. And we get that match. There it is. Next up, it's Saturday night, Tim.
It is Saturday night.
Saturday night. And
Big Stoke.
And Chris Statlander in an eliminator match taking on the CMLL World's Women's Champion, not an AEW championship, the CMLL World's Women's Champion. But she's contracted to AEW. And it's not for the title. It's an eliminator match. And this was fun. This is a good feud, but on the premise, tell that to someone who doesn't know, and now what the hell are we talking about?
They use the term eliminator to kind of mean de facto like earn a title shot. Like it makes sense when it's a tournament. If you call a tournament, right, the world title eliminator, makes sense, right? Because it's a single elimination tournament, right? But two people to be named the number one contender is not an eliminator match to me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's a bastardization of that term.
Yeah, I don't like that an eliminator match for another promotion's title was on AEW.
True.
And here's the other thing. We talked about this a little bit earlier, and I'll say it again, and I don't mean to be mean, but this is just me. This is my viewing habits. This is what I like. This is our podcast, so this is what I am going to say. I don't like crossover episodes. I don't like when New Girl and Brooklyn Nine-Nine or CSI Miami and CSI Vegas do fuck that. I watch this show and I watch that show.
Let me do another reference, and you might be able to correct me or confirm because you probably watched more of this. But let's go back to like, if I remember boxing from say like 80s, right? Maybe even 90s. There were a couple groups doing the boxing, right? Each had their champions and stuff. Like you might see some crossover when like one person had both titles, right? But like they weren't like, well, we've got this boxing federation right now. Like, oh, also watch this guy defend a title from the other boxing federation against a random other person from our group. Like, I don't recall ever seeing that. It was like one guy was so good he had two fucking titles, right? And so like it was like unified, but like it was never like, also on our show, the competitor's title is up for grabs for Joe Dickface, right? And you're like, wait, I don't recall seeing that. No, that's very true. That doesn't feel right, right? That doesn't feel realistic.
Yeah, HBO Boxing never did a showcase fight for Showtime Fighter. You know what I mean? And so, like, unless it was a title unification, it never happened. And again, also, if you want to get outside of the world of sport, right? Because entertainment, which is fine. And again, it's not a sport. For me, I don't like that stuff. I don't want to see that stuff, right? I'm
not a big fan of crossovers either.
This thing, right? I watch this thing. That's what I watch. This thing. If I want to watch that thing, I'll watch that thing. That's it.
Yeah.
Unless it is a unification, right? If it's the best of this person and that person meet in a neutral site, okay, but I don't like any of that.
All the crossovers nothing can be topped once we did the Flintstone Jetsons thing. Like, everybody can just give up. Like, that was the best we're ever going to get. And just...
Did that happen?
Close second, WCW, ECW Invasion. And then after that, like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Did the Flintstones Jetsons thing happen, or are you just making that up?
The Jetsons Flintstone thing? Yeah, it was like, Yep. Oh. Yeah, one of them, I think, I don't remember, like, they went back in time. I think the Jetsons went back in time or something like that. I can't remember what happened there.
That's an episode.
That up.
But Statlander cheats, knocks Willow out with the old chain, and pins her.
Business.
Yeah. And then beats her up. So tell me about this, Tim. So Statlander wins, does a great job of hiding this chain the entire time. It was really good. Like, it wasn't one of those things where obviously Aubrey is going to look the other way, but it wasn't one of those things where it's like, Aubrey, really? Like, it was sly enough to where it worked.
It wasn't those where the referee's like, oh, what am I looking for? Yeah, right.
Yeah. It was sly enough to where it worked. But Go
I'll
ahead.
also say this: we used to complain a lot about Aubrey like being in the shot and kind of whatever, but like I don't think you know what I mean. Like
No,
I don't
she's
even
been
notice any of that shit. Yeah.
yeah. She's been doing really well lately. As far as look at me Louie moments, right? She's
Right.
getting
Right.
less and less of those.
Yeah.
But so here's the afterwards. We have Stokely grab a chair and Statlander starts hitting Willow with it. Bop, 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 bop. Security comes in.
Yeah.
Hey.
Gets them hands.
Hold on though. But here again. We didn't do that for Will Ospreay in the first segment. So weird. But whatevs. We do it here.
Tom?
Yeah. Oh well, look, everyone should protect Willow. That's a given.
Right. Yeah.
Willow.
Not that one.
Okay.
But
that one needs no protection. Well, protection from the wheel, but
yeah.
Anyway.
But then Statlander starts attacking the security, but then Stokely says stop.
Yeah. It's okay to murder Willow, but these random people we'll never see again.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. Yeah, that's too far.
It felt clunky. Yeah,
Well, especially Stokely. Stokely has no conscience. Stokely only cares about himself.
Right.
Like even his people that he's there, it's only because he can use them for his own success, right? Like Stokely's a sneaky little snake. He didn't give a fuck about the security guard. Yeah, murder that guy. Rip him in half.
Exactly. Yeah, why do I care? I'm here for me.
Well, let me check for his watch and wallet first, and then
Right. Forgot a backstage segment before this.
But I do like Statlander.
I do too.
Getting like, oh, holy shit, somebody's got to pull her off. We got to stop her. She's, losing her mind here.
And I like that she got a victory here, right? Because it's a feud. Feuds are when both people are winning. A feud isn't like the Chiefs and Raiders where only one team wins. Okay? Like both have to win for it to be a feud.
The Chiefs and Broncos.
Yeah, the Chiefs and Broncos. It has to be competitive. You know what I mean? It can't be 8 years in a row where only one
or the Chiefs and 49ers in Super Bowls.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Or Chiefs and Eagles in Super Bowls. Like both teams have to win.
Jesus, here.
You know? But I forgot about this. Before that, we had a backstage segment. It was Chris Jericho. And then after that match with Statlander, we get Bryan Danielson walks out. And we got some business picking up, as old JR likes to say. So he comes out and he's talking his, hey, I said these things, and one was kick people's heads in, and two was win a championship. Well, I kicked heads in, but I haven't won the championship. And then Swerve comes out and is like, I like you, but not when you're coming for my thing.
I have to kill you.
Yeah. And I like the one thing where he said, you said you were going to kick people's heads in, but I guess you couldn't handle it when they kicked back. That's a cool fucking line. I like that one. Then, some verbal jabs. I won with Team AEW. You didn't. I beat Ospreay. You didn't, right? And he's kind of running them down respectfully, but not respectfully, right? And then Danielson says, hey, you motherfucker. How about this? You win. I won't wrestle again. Now, here's the thing with... Yeah, he promises. Yeah, it's not legally binding. Ooh, is he a little snake? Is he a little snake? Because Swerve says you don't have... Yeah, Swerve says you don't have to keep that promise to me.
Keep that promise
to your family.
Yeah, I love that line.
Yeah, that's
even Bryan was like, bitch. You know what I mean? That kind of... I haven't seen Bryan like that since The Miz went off on him. God damn, it's still one of the best fucking things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was so unhinged. So then we see Danielson walk back after that. And Jeff Jarrett's like, this is what I'm talking about, brother. And then Danielson's like, fuck you. You want to see how much I'm bought in?
Whatever, hat or whatever I was saying.
Yeah, I'm going to stick this hat in your fucking dick hole.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
That's what he said, I think. That's what it
verbatim.
Said in the closed caption.
That's what it said on my closed caption.
And that explains why we got the replay of the fucking promo from before. I was like, why did we give that? And honestly, when the Danielson thing came out, for me, I was like, this is slow. And Danielson can be that way. But it's kind of like, geez, we're slow. And then I started getting the hints of like, oh shit, is he talking about his retirement now? Like, and he was like, there's only a couple days. And now I like what they did here with this, because now we kind of don't know. Is he done? Or will he not be done? Or will he win the title and still be done? Like, there's all kinds of ways we could go here. Yeah, and we'll make some picks, and you'll have to wear this fucking Jeff Jarrett shirt, speaking of Jeff Jarrett, when you lose the picks game.
Or won't. I'll tell you right now, you know how it happens? I'll give you this pick. Because I think we're going to, I don't know if we're going to pick the same or not.
Screws him over?
This is what happens.
God damn it, I might be like, all right, I'm done. I'm not watching this
Yeah,
anymore.
I mean, if Kane ever shows up, which, side note, we saw the photo with Tony Khan and Shane McMahon. Don't want that shit.
Kane versus Hangman, though, could be fun in some promo battles.
Shane versus Darby would be fun. We're just both of them.
I said Kane versus Hangman.
Oh, yeah, Hangman.
Go
Fuck him up. I hope so. Yeah. But this is how it goes down. I'll tell you how I feel on July 31st. It might change, but this is what I think goes down. Danielson beats Swerve at All In.
Yeah.
Swerve says, you motherfucker. Nope. Guess what? I'm the fucking man, and I'm the man of Washington. You go to Wrestle Dream that's in the state of Washington. They're both from there. It's Danielson's last ever match. Swerve beats Danielson. I'm the king of Washington. Darby then says, fuck you.
Back on the line. Career back on the line for the title, right? Yeah, you get both or you get none.
Double or nothing.
I don't know. What we could do is Swerve does something to entice Danielson into that, right? Maybe he says something about the family or breaks into their house and stares over.
But I can think in my imagination, Danielson's last match being in Seattle or Washington.
100%,
that's where it has to be.
Right,
yeah,
of course.
That's what I would think.
Right.
So,
all of his folks and then all them.
Yeah, all the stuff there, hug, all the stuff. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
All right. So then we get some in-ring action. It's the conglomeration versus Rouge, Beast, Mortis, and Roderick Strong. It was cool to see Beast, Mortis, and Orange Cassidy do the fucking Olay thing.
Yeah. That was fun. And Beast Mortis is cool. And look, I mean, I don't want to say like it was a lull necessarily, but like, because all of these competitors are good, and this was a match that like you expect with AEW, right? They do these, but like it just kind of felt kind of what you're saying. Like we weren't really doing a whole lot this week. Like we were doing some storyline things, but there wasn't a whole lot of like major shifts, major turns. So this in the middle just kind of felt like an exhibition match, right? Which, I guess you get some of that.
Yeah, that's fine, right? Yeah, not everything has to be, I think the thing that we're going to get from this is the Beast Mortis, if you caught on, got the victory over Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is your Ring of Honor heavyweight champion. We might get that little ROH feud, which, hey, look, that motherfucker Beast Mortis as your ROH champion definitely gets some heads turning.
That dude, for wearing that huge Vader mask the whole time, whatever.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Does some good stuff. I've seen some good matches here already with him. Yeah.
I like it. And you got Ishii versus Roosh in a match, so that was awesome. Ishii I love his violence. It just warms my heart. I love
like a bowling ball with legs.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just like an anvil with a grumpy attitude.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
What do we get here? Oh, we get a Mariah May interview with Renee Paquette. Yeah, and she basically, paraphrasing here, is like, I said I was going to come in, take everything that she had. I did.
Yeah.
And I did it.
She's a dumb hooch and I fucking stole her shit.
Well, and Renee Paquette said, well, but like, why? What did she ever do to you? And Mariah goes, nothing.
Yeah.
That was the coldest thing, is there was no backstory of when I was 16. It was,
I was like, sorry to inform you that like
nothing.
I just wanted it. I just wanted to do it. Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
that's the scariest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my life is Strangers, where it's this house that's like in a field. These strangers with masks terrorize these people in a house, kill most of them. They get to the last person. This person is like, "What the fuck?" And I can't remember if it was a guy or girl. I think it was a girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Why are you doing this?" And he goes, "For fun." And then that's how it ends. Boom, shoots him. That's the whole movie. Just strangers, fuck, and like, so like for Mariah May just to be like, "No, I picked you."
Yeah.
Like that's scary as shit.
Yeah, it just seemed like it would be a fun thing to do. I know, like it's
Yeah.
sociopathic. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
What I like too that like Renee goes to ask, and then she's just like, "I'm not asking any more questions."
Nah, we're done. We're done, hon. Yeah, because she even said it like she didn't like get in her face. She was like,
Yeah, no, she's like, I'm not.
yeah. And then Renee was like, well, fuck, I guess I am
Got
done.
scooped.
Damn it.
Well, again, I like that Renee is taking this sort of like Gene Okerlund approach of like, all right, well then fuck you, bitch. Like, I'm,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
a veteran
I'm above
here.
this.
Yeah.
I gotta find somebody to fucking interview you, bitch.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then we get the commentary crew talking about Mariah May and Tony Storm. And before they could really even finish, Tony Storm runs out. I loved you. I loved you. You said you loved me and I loved you.
So, I
You
love
were perfect.
you. She said, you told me you loved me, and I love you too. Right? Like, that's a subtle, Uh-huh.
Well, and she competed on Collision, and she said a similar thing on Collision where she was like, sometimes I thought you were better than me, but at All In, because she goes, I'm the whore you adore, the tramp who is the champ, all this fucking awesome shit. She's the fucking best.
Yeah, she's the best. Yeah, what she said here was, they say you got to find something that loves you and let it kill you. And she was like, at All In, this is going to be the best romance of our lives or something like that. Like, oh my God. Insane stuff. Unhinged. She fucking hitting herself with the shoe, right? Again, the shoe. The shoe.
Because here's my plea to Tony Khan. Look, title versus career now raises the stakes. A championship match should main event. 1,000,000,000% agree. And it's probably going to be the best match of the night. Swerve versus Bryan Danielson.
And I imagine if he wins that thing and you got Wembley.
All the shit.
Yes. Yeah.
But Tony Storm versus Mariah May should main event. It is the best story in wrestling. Fuck Cody, fuck CM Punk and Drew, fuck Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker. It is Tony Storm, Mariah May.
You clearly haven't studied how pro wrestling works. You just call several matches the main event.
No, I'm saying you actually main event. No.
Then you have a triple main event.
No. Oh, I used to hate that shit when we would do televised MMA fights.
Yeah.
And the last fight before television, they would be like, this is the amateur main event. Like, no, the fuck it's not. It's the 5th fight. We have 11. Fuck this one. Don't call it shit. Just fuck you. There's one main event.
WrestleMania would like 2 nights, so there's like 4 main events. The first match is a main event. What? And the last match is a main event. Like, wait a minute. Nope. And then tomorrow we run it back. It's like, oh, no, hold on.
Yeah. The only reason you say like a 3-course main meal is because of the portions.
Right.
Not because of when it comes out. Right? You fucking idiots. The last main thing is the main event. That's it.
Yeah.
So it needs to be Tony Storm, Mariah May. Because here's my thing. I think you need to turn this up next week. No offense to anything else. I think everything's good. It's all kind of a little dull. In my opinion, the best thing you got is Tony Storm. If you're having her lose or whatever you have, unless it's something where you're just going to do a schmoz and we're going to keep it going, okay. But I don't know that decision. What I'm saying is on the viewing perspective, like that's my match of the night. That's going to be the thing I will not miss. I might do laundry when Mercedes Moné walks out or whatever the fuck it is, but I ain't missing a second of Tony Storm and Mariah May.
I just get the feeling that Tony Storm is going to plan something insane for this event. Like, She's too creative.
And I love her new
They've
look.
been doing too much of this.
Yeah. And I love her new look with like the white out face and like the unhinged eyebrows.
Yeah.
Oh, and the gloves all of a sudden now that she's wearing.
Yeah.
Luther's gone.
Yeah.
She kind of looks like like one of the people that puts the ring together. You know what I mean? Like one of the crew members.
Who knew? Flashback to like right after their like trio group when Paige was like, Toni Storm's gotten weird. That like we were gonna get such greatness from all of that.
She
God,
is
so good.
She is the best.
Oh,
she is
one of the best
as
entertainers
good.
in wrestling right now. If I say MJF is my favorite, Toni Storm's number 2, and they might be battling for it right now.
Yeah,
like,
right now,
insane.
definitely. But if you were to like stack up the hierarchy of all-time favorite things, the story of Hangman, the ascension of MJF, but right there is Toni Storm. It is like a three-way tie for Eddie Kingston, his emergence from calling out Cody to then becoming who he was. Like, those are fucking stellar fucking anyhow.
It's good stuff.
It's amazing. But after this, we get Camilla, and she squashes somebody, and Mercedes Moné talks. Then, I mean, do you have anything?
It was also slow. I felt like all we did for this entire long speech and segment was establish her nickname as the Brick House, which again, I'm sorry, you don't look a whole lot bigger when you're standing next to Sasha Banks. Like, yeah, you're like you're broader, right? I like, and you're taller.
She's cut.
Like, yeah, you're cut.
She is.
But when I think Brick House, I think,
China.
Unmovable, right? Like,
China.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Nicole Bass.
Right.
Yeah, you think.
Yeah.
Nia Jax. You know what I mean? Like those.
Right.
Yeah,
one of the ones that like try to double leg me. Like, you ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Camilla is more like
rugby player that you know what I mean? That's what I think of. That's Brick House.
Alana Mayer, I fucking love her so much. And then Woodward with New Zealand. Oh,
yeah.
But she just says, you think you tackled me? Yeah. Fucking get out of here, bitch. Oh my God. And then did you see when they fucking did their fucking war cry afterwards? God damn, I love rugby. Motherfucker, who wants to I want to hit somebody so hard?
Coming soon. The rugby wrap-up. Tim and Tom.
Oh, I did it. We could do that. When I was at 810, 1510, we did, was our sister station. And on Sunday mornings, I did the Irish show. And they talked about Irish rugby. And I had to do like an Irish rugby report. I didn't know what I was talking about, but now I do. Fuck, I wish I was doing
when I was there in Germany, on base, they allowed, like there was also a German, like, reserve unit that would also like use the base, right? While we were over there in Germany, and like they had like a rugby club, and so like I would see them practicing when I would be like running the track and stuff, and man, like you said, there's some violence caked into that.
I played one game.
You got to be an animal to play that.
Oh, I played one game. Did not know what I was doing. It was my sophomore year of high school. Football practice got canceled. I went to school in Independence, which is a big Samoan population. Samoans play rugby. And so some of the guys were like, well, if we're not going to play football, we're going to do rugby. And I was like, oh, okay. And this guy, Kia Tawala, who I think he went over to Europe and played, Kia was like, hey, man, we need one extra. You want to come? And I was like, what? And they're like, play rugby. I was like, what's that? And they're like, it's like football, but like you don't stop. I was like, all right, fine. Because I was, in shape. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I was so scared the entire fucking time. I just threw it. I just threw it and kicked it. Kicked it all the fucking time. They're like, kick it forward, throw it backwards. So I threw it backwards, got one time, kicked it forward, and I just stayed on the outside. And I was like, because he would come from anywhere. Like, fuck that.
It's fast-paced, man, and they love to hit. Not too distant, similar. Aussie Rules Football, if you've watched any of that.
A little bit. The rugby 7 is easier for me to comprehend because it's smaller and it's quick and it's sprinting, right? Like when you get more people, then I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly. So like, it's a little more spread out, but that's what I'm saying. Like a little distant but similar, right? Similar kind of that more. It's venturing more to football, like American football, away from rugby.
I gotta start small. I think I gotta start small to then grow big. So we'll see. But
the scrums are fun too, right? See these guys all scrumming, then one guy like just kind of like sticks it out Charlie Brown style at the bottom of the pile, right? Just so funny. He's like, fucking And they're
But
off to the
Camille,
races
what I was
again,
gonna
right?
say,
Anyway,
yeah,
back to this.
Camille, what I was gonna say, she is more CrossFit fit, where it was like, oh, you could do all the body weight shit for 10 weeks and not feel a thing. Like how Cesaro is, right? Cesaro is fucking, but like, if you tell me, what is it, Brickhouse? Brickhouse, I think Brian Cage. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but we're splitting hairs. But
Yeah.
Mercedes
And
180's got
what
to
do
do
you have to
something
be,
more
though, to
here.
become the brick shit house? What's the next
Shit in your
step up?
pants.
Okay, all right. That's good. Or make somebody shit their pants upon sight. Then you're a brick
Ooh,
shit
yeah.
house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If somebody was like, what are you going to do about it? And somebody comes around and goes, I'm going to do something about it. You'd be like, fuck. Right? Like, no shit. Like, yeah,
What's that smell?
that's a brick shit house. Yeah, Dookie. Yeah. That's a good sound.
With Mercedes here, though, she needs. Here's the thing where it's a missed opportunity. And I get it. We're trying to get booed and all that. But this is. Come with it. You didn't say anything.
Yeah, nothing.
Say your one-liner.
Yeah.
Last week, again, this is where, and I'm only saying this because I think she honestly believes it. So I'm breaking kayfabe here for a moment. I think she honestly believes it. I think Mercedes, whatever her real name is, believes she's the greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
she does.
Okay. But last week,
a lot of folks do.
Tony Storm said, are you ready to die? Because I am. And we fucking went wild.
And this week said, let your love kill you. We're going to have the romance of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had triple the time. And I can't tell you one fucking thing you said, except for I think Britt Baker was banned.
And Brickhouse. And that's
Brickhouse.
all I know. And Brickhouse. Justin Floor says, hi, guys, in the chat. Hi, Justin Floor. Good to see you. We love folks that join us in the chat. So if you're listening later and you want to join us some week, pay attention to AllEliteWrapup.com. Subscribe there for free, and you'll know when we're going live. You can join in the chat like Justin Floor did. We just got done talking about Camille.
Yeah. I hope he's not doing one of the Jericho things. How he said hi, guys.
Who are you talking about?
Justin
hi,
Floor.
guys.
Yeah,
he's saying Jericho. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. But we get the main event, and it's a first time ever. I don't know. Was this the first time they've ever fought, or just first time in AEW? I didn't catch if there was a difference. We get our main event. Hangman
I
Adam
don't recall
Page.
them saying specifically, but yeah, I don't know of somewhere, but I also don't know much of their
Right?
product,
Yeah. If it was if it was some not GCW, but if it was a Evolve show that I didn't know of, something like that. But it was Hangman Adam Page versus Darby Allin. And I tell you what, we did a lot of living in this match. We had fall away slams into some stairs.
Hard hitting is a great way to call this match.
Mm-hmm. We had the multiple power bombs,
yeah.
which break kayfabe for a second.
Thing is behind the back thing, yeah.
Well, breaking kayfabe for a second. The idea, because it's all on Darby to do that move, because he has to do the sit up to let you do it, and then take the punishment. And then do the sit up.
Gotta be, yeah, yeah.
God, Jesus.
Yeah. Sit up, slam. Oh, all of that. Sit up again. Slam. Breathless. Sit up again. And what if you got the wind knocked out of you on one of those slammed out? That can happen. And now you got to sit up. How the fuck do you do that without puking all over everything? This is reason 729 of why I'm not a professional wrestler.
Yes.
Yeah.
730, the pay. But in this one,
I mean, I like hot dogs.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. But in this one, like you said, hard hitting. Now, Tim, one thing that caught my eye, I don't know if you saw this, but Hangman regained control after a little skirmish. But then Darby got his eyes, like all that. Mm-hmm. Darby Allin went on the outside, and then he tried the buckshot, but then Hangman fucking clotheslined Darby.
Yeah.
Now, you think Punk could do that move?
No, well, I've seen him try.
Fuck that guy.
Did you write
well,
that
I'm the best in the world. I'm a locker room leader.
When you saw that, we were like, I'm writing this note. I'm going to bring this up on the show. Yeah, as the locker room leader. I love it.
That guy sucks.
Now, can you imagine how fake, like, Cody Rhodes has to, like, hang around that guy and they got to act like they didn't, like, he doesn't know he said that shit about him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because Punk has to, like, eat it, too, because Cody's the guy right now.
Well, yeah, and Punk is not, like, yeah, exactly. Like, he's.
And there's more
if he
days.
gets out of line, he's gone and he's done. Like, he's not wrestling anymore ever again. Yeah.
Well, and there's more days of Cody's prime than there is of Punk's prime. So there's, you know.
Well, I think I saw Punk recently said he wants to, like, go to NXT and coach and stuff like. So if he's trying to do that, he better be on all of his best behavior and not fucking up.
Observation.
I have a feeling he'll get Bill demoted out of that fucking thing before he ever.
Well,
anyway.
Observation. Just an observation. I'm not alluding to anything as far as his character as a human, because like I've said a billion times, I think we agree on a lot of the same
socioeconomic things, yeah.
And just like treatment of humans, not one-to-one, but just right. So I'm not saying anything about him being a scumbag in that regard. But
individual relationships, he seems to have an issue.
Well, but what I was going to say is, brother, I can't tell a time that he's ever took a photo with a male talent since he returned to WWE. It has been all Samantha Irvin high fives, take a photo with the Cora girl or whatever her name is, the skateboard girl. Man, you go down there to NXT and want to coach. If I'm AJ Lee, I might say we're both going to be coaching.
So there's also a thing of like, okay, so he's going to coach, but again, the only thing I think I would have him coach is maybe promos, because like and even at that, I'm challenging this notion that he was ever really that good at the promo. Like he just is a shit talker, right? And like, the shtick feels old to me now, right? Like,
you know when the facade came off for me? Well, the first time, and I thought, well, maybe he just got flustered, was when Eddie Kingston put him in his place in St. Louis.
Yeah.
When he was like,
he really was like,
what the fuck, right? And Eddie Kingston
became clear to him, like, I'm not a god here, right? Like, I think he was like,
and Eddie Kingston's like, get the fuck out. But then when he said the line in the all-time battle, and it was great, but the line that I was like, oh, he's lost his fastball, as they say, was when he said, MJF, this whole entire time, I thought it stood for my jealous fan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, brother, that's what your line is?
That was your delivery line? Yeah.
Fuck out of here. And now I saw a clip on Threads where he says what did he say? Punk derangement syndrome or something? And he's just like, dude, what acronyms are you fucking coming up with? All this bullshit. No one fucking idiot. Anyhow, Punk sucks. But this match doesn't. And we're back into it. And Hangman and him are going at it. And if you didn't know, on Rampage on last Friday night, Darby Allin won the Royal Derby, whatever the fuck it's called.
Royal Rampage.
Royal Rampage Derby, whatever. And he won it. And so he gets a future title shot at Arthur Ashe. So that's something to keep in mind. But in this match, Hangman wearing Darby around like a hat towards the end of it. Multiple dead eyes, couple how's your fathers. Right? He's doing everything to him. And then
he goes looking psychopathic the whole time.
Yeah.
Dead eye. Literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he goes to do his buckshot, and Darby does the I
can't even stand. Love that.
And Hangman's like, motherfucker. And then Darby goes, gotcha, motherfucker. 1, 2, 3, gets the victory, and then gives him the middle fingers.
And Hangman loses his shit.
Two things are here, though, where you need to stay consistent. So many times when Bryan Danielson does his matches, he'll fall, and then the ref goes, hey, 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 hey.
Oh, yeah.
And here, Darby fucking collapses, and the ref's just like, hey, man.
Does referee stop an unconscious opponent, or do they not? Right?
Yeah.
And again, I'll remind you, 3 count is an unconscious opponent, right? So I think we should hedge on right? Well, but I mean,
yes, I know what you mean, but like I could also just pin you.
Yeah, I could just hold you down to where you physically couldn't get up, right? But that's usually not how they sell it in pro wrestling, right?
Yes. Yeah, because that was the thing. I was like, wait a minute. He just collapsed and the ref's fine? But then with Bryan Danielson, we stop every 5 seconds? Like,
why don't I have a chance to pin the guy while he's knocked the fuck out, right? Like, the point? Like, I'm supposed to pin him. Now I can pin him.
Yeah. So that. But then 2, Darby Allin. Good God. How does he, I mean, and then what does this mean for Hangman Adam Page? Are we now doing Hangman Darby, but Darby's
I think it
got
helps,
Jack Perry?
Since we're doing this Bryan Danielson thing, I think it helps pivot Hangman away for a moment from his quest for Swerve, because Darby Allin's being a bitch, thorn in his side, and like almost like I would sell it as that as like, God damn it, I don't even want to be fighting your little bitch ass, but you keep pissing me off, right? Like, I'm going for him. Like, fuck. Like, this is the last time I'm about to beat your ass, right? Like, or whatever, right? Like, just kind of sell it that way. Because, again, I don't want to lose that edge from Hangman towards Swerve.
Yes. Here's the other thing, though. Hangman's got so many things he could go with, because now he has this, right? His attention is now this. Obviously, his main quest, if we're doing video games, is still Swerve. But let's not forget, at that Royal Rampage, he eliminated Jeff Jarrett because Jeff Jarrett got into the match with him and Bryan Danielson. Yeah. So he's got Jeff Jarrett he could go after. And then he's got Okada
next week.
Right. But then we got Okada, who's bucking his chest up to Hangman, saying like, hey, man, get in fucking line or get the fuck out. And so, like, we got all these different things. And here's the greatest thing about his character. It all makes sense. He's the bad guy or the good guy, wherever you put him. Okada, he's the good guy. Darby, he's the bad guy. You know what I mean?
He can play the same character. It's just
he's the same person.
That person's relationship with the opponent is kind of how you think about whether, which again is real. There's some people where I'm like, no, I agree with him on this, but I think they're an asshole on that. Right? Like,
yeah. Punk.
Yeah.
He wears the pro-choice shirt in Texas. Fuck yeah, man.
I'm sure I'm that guy for a lot of folks. You know what I mean? Where they're like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, he's right about that, but like, fuck him what he says about that. You know, like, yeah.
Usually it's fuck him on that, but hey, he makes a good point. That's usually what I get.
Yeah.
You know, it's usually like, fuck him. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. That one's okay. But
still fuck him.
That, but that was our AEW Dynamite for this week. What'd you think?
So next week, Bryan Danielson, Jeff Jarrett. I keep thinking about this. Is Bryan Danielson going to like, I'm showing people and like work over Jeff Jarrett and make Jeff Jarrett be like, why are you doing this to me? You know what I mean? Like, just wrestle fuck him? Is that what's going to happen here? How fun is that going to be?
I think, Remember when he went first heel in AEW and he knocked out Colt Cabana's teeth? And he was like, look, Hangman, here's the fucking friend's tooth. I think it's now maybe that was obviously legit.
Sure,
he just went
that was
with
on
it.
The fly.
But I think it's going to be something like that where it's like
you wanted me to ramp it up. You wanted me to, you know what I mean? Like now I've had to put my career on the line. You motherfucker. Just let him
You think my family can't handle this violence? And then like fucks him up. Yeah.
You
have him kick back.
You asked for this.
You know what he could do? What would be a cool spot, just can see in my head, is when he says, I'm going to kick his fucking head in, right? He does it. He kicks him. He pauses, and he just yells at Jeff Jarrett, kick back! And he keeps kicking him. Kick back! Keeps kicking him. Like, and then like the ref's like, fucking stop, man. And he's like, I thought everyone
are going to get your fucking head kicked in!
Yeah. And then, but the line, I think you should do that in the match too.
Yeah.
With him and Swerve, kick back and just because that was a fire line from Swerve.
Love it. Interesting. I will say that was sort of the biggest thing of the night, right? We hit that like, oh shit, this Danielson thing is this it? Are we going to see the final match of Danielson? Or are we going to see a title run with Danielson? Oh man, craziness. What a time to be alive. What a time to be a wrestling fan. What a time to be an AEW fan. What a time to be a fan of the All Elite Wrap-Up. Right? Honestly, I mean, we're doing great too. We're doing amazing. We're getting great numbers each week, and it's because of folks like you who join us in the chat like Justin Floor did. It's folks like you who download us later from alleatewrapup.com. And Tom, I don't know, anything else? Go watch some Olympics and see if you would tell us next week what event you think you could, like, if you had to. You're like, what's the one you could, like, try to muster up a bench riding fill-in for the Olympics? And
which one are you real with yourself and like, absolutely not even if I gave all my effort?
Yeah, I would be a disgrace to the nation. Yeah, I would be the Lynn Elliott of the Olympics.
Of the Olympics, good reference.
Yeah,
fuck that guy.
It's good stuff. Yeah, fuck that guy. Laces in, motherfucker. All right, no. Or what was that? Laces out, right? From the Laces out, right? Yeah.
Ace Ventura.
Yeah. Well, all right. I guess that's it. It says we're having a thunderstorm warning coming in on my phone beeping right now. That looks serious. So I guess we'll go before the internet cuts out. We'll just get out of here. We'll come back next week for another All Elite Wrap-Up.